Bonjour, I am the Marquis de Sade. Much has been written about me, most of it terrible, but the true monsters are the ones you will hear about when we talk about the French Revolution. I am just misunderstood, because I like to get, how you say, a little freaky, or a lot, but I am not a monster. And this, as you will find out, is my story.
I was born Donatien Alphonse Francois in Paris on June 2nd, 1740, to the noble house of Sade. After receiving an education in torture from my uncle, the Abbot de Sade, I joined the military, even becoming a colonel of a dragoon regiment fighting in the 7 Years' War. After that, it was back to Paris and to my castle, the Château de la Coste. Now, it was time to make my reputation, which was mostly bad.
I became famously a libertine in the era that invented libertines. I wake up every morning looking for pleasures.
And pleasures I did find indeed, including a bit of trouble after being accused of poisoning prostitutes at one of my chateau parties.
All I was trying to do was improve on the aphrodisiac, the Spanish fly, with my new concoction called the French tickler. Perhaps I mixed the ingredients a little bit too strong.
After being placed under chateau arrest, I then spent my time exploring every hole and crevice, some of them even parts of my house.
Il faut que tu me le dises. Tu comprends? Pourquoi tu m'obliges à te faire? Il faut que tu me le dises.
All the orgies were going great, until my housekeeper had some sort of problem and escaped by leaping through a window.
What? Was it something I said? Perhaps it was the hot wax? C'est la vie.
After that, I was sent to the Bastille, France's most notorious prison fortress.
And I spent about 32 years of my life in various prisons and mental institutions, like this prison here, the Bastille, which the conditions are terrible. I even had to bring my own handcuffs from my own personal collection. Quoi?
And there I was, locked in this stupid prison for being the rock star of my time. However, change was in the air.
Say you want a revolution, no, you know. We all want to change the world.
Sade, shut up!
Bah, 'tis but an anachronism anywhere. Oh, my aching gut, I have such bad gastritis. It is killing me. God, I need some coffee to relieve it.
How about I take your rum pillow from you and see if you think that is comfortable?
What? This, you can't have my pillow. This is for my derriere. Take my pillow? Oh. But what about my gastritis?
Make use of your toilet funnel!
I cannot make use of my toilet funnel if I cannot have the gastritis relieved to use the toilet funnel. But you want me to make good use of this toilet funnel? Then I will. Attention everyone outside of the Bastille! The guards up here are slitting the throats of everyone! They are killing us! They won't even come in and whip us! They even took my ass pillow! That is how you make good use of the toilet funnel. Viva la Revolution!
After my antics provoked a riot, I was moved to a lunatic asylum and missed all the fun as the French Revolution began, 10 days later, in July 1789.
So, I was locked up into the lunatic asylum at Saint-Anton, like some kind of common lunatic, which I am not. But every cloud has its silver lining, and so does every straitjacket. For it was here that I produced some of my greatest works, including plays with the lunatic asylum inmates. So, who is crazy? Moi?
Charenton Lunatic Asylum, my new home sweet home. Soon I had the run of the place and began writing.
And it was here, in Charenton Lunatic Asylum, where I made my most famous writings. Oh, yes.
I became a man of letters. As a aristocrat, revolutionary politician, philosopher, and of course writer. My works that I created included novels, short stories, plays, dialogues, and political tracks, sometimes all mixed into one. There was nothing that I wrote about that I did not and would not try myself. Of course, I was accused of blasphemy against the Catholic Church for depicting sexual fantasies with an emphasis on violence, and of course, adding pictures to go with it. But it was all in a day's work, and yes, it was also a pleasure. As the revolution was in full swing, I soon found myself released from the lunatic asylum, and my friend Jean-Paul Marat, the great writer, was also murdered, and I gave a eulogy at his funeral and found myself in the company of one Maximilien Robespierre, the leader of the Reign of Terror. Needing a job after being released from prison, I did what any lunatic would do and went into politics. I was appointed to the National Convention in 1790, where I represented the far left until Maximilien Robespierre started to give me lists of heads that he wanted to see roll. Sade, I need you to hurry up with the list of people to execute. We are running behind schedule.
Not on your life! Ye gods, I am through with this all!
Quoi? Sacre bleu! And soon Citizen Robespierre found it was his time for his head to roll, and he was sent to the guillotine, and his head was held up for all to see as the Reign of Terror began to come to an end, and I was left without a job and penniless.
Oh, times have been so hard. Alas, my dear, I am too broke to even afford a whip.
To make ends meet, I began writing more erotic novels, plays, and pamphlets, until that false noble, Napoleon Bonaparte, had me imprisoned for supposedly writing sexy time stories about his horse-faced wife, Josephine. Then, it was back to my favorite chateau away from chateau, Charenton Lunatic Asylum, where I not only managed to keep my good looks, I was always a hit with all the ladies.
Where are you going, my princess? I just want to show you my whip.
Finally, on the night of December the 2nd, 1814, all of my bitches went into a tizzy after I died from a pulmonary obstruction, which I think is medical term for huge erection.
So, that was the end of the story of the Marquis de Sade as I passed away as an old man of a fever after a long day of flagellation with my mistress. However, all I wanted was for my body to be thrown to be disposed of by the animals. But they decided that they should keep my skull for future study of the deviant mind. But as you have seen, I did not cut off one head. So who is the monster? Who is the true deviant? It is moi? No. So now, I say to you, all you ladies, maybe you should do some future further research into the Marquis de Sade. And I thank you for all listening to my side of the story. Au revoir.